So what I'm going to show you is the best way I've found to teach sliding. Coach Clay here. If you're coaching those 7, 8, 9-year-olds, even 10 and 11-year-olds, it's time to get these boys and girls sliding. Now, you can try to teach it too young, because in order to slide properly, you have to be able to produce some speed. If you can't run fast or fast enough, it'll be a problem learning how to slide. But 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, especially in the baseball and in the softball, you're running into situations where teams are starting to try to turn double plays. You're running into really good catchers, outfielders that are getting the ball in, and these tag plays need to be with your player sliding. So you can do a little drill with your players before going right into sliding if you want. It's not imperative, but it can help. Sometimes I'll put players on a downhill when they do this drill, because we're going to be just sitting straight down. Now, instead of being on an incline, I'm actually have this mat right here that's going to catch me. Now, kids can actually sit down to the flat ground. They're pretty agile and flexible, and they don't break as easy as 50-year-old dudes. So, but I used a mat here. If you have a mat or somewhere soft the kids can land, you can use that too. But the first thing we're trying to teach is to take either foot and try to bring that foot behind the other foot, and then just sit down. Now, from the other side, you see how this foot gets kicked under right here. And once it's under, you just sit down. Now, the big thing is you want to teach kids to keep those hands up as we fall onto that butt, not to reach back. Now, as we get into sliding, you will have one hand that will fall back and sort of drag behind you, but when we're learning, you want to put both those hands up. Whether you decide to do the sit-down drill or not, you're ready to slide. I use a slip and slide or an old tarp I've got, lay them out on the ground, get them good and wet. I'll even keep the sprinklers going as we're doing sliding practice. If you want to provide a little softer place for some of your beginners to go, if you got a gymnastics mat, you can slide it underneath that slip and slide. Just make sure when you're staking these tarps down, you're getting those stakes really flush to the ground so nobody's going to rip pants or skin sliding. I always demonstrate myself a few times, and you can see I'm getting that front leg out, that back leg just tucks underneath, one hand up, and then I'll let the other hand just sort of drag behind. And here you'll see some of the guys, their first attempts. You can already see that slip and slide, and it might be slightly downhill here, but they're getting that hand up, that foot out. One of my slower guys here, you can see, never slid before, and the progression is crazy. After a few runs at it, starting to get the speed, starting to get the foot out, and then this last one you can see, he's got the speed, getting the foot out, really getting some momentum. Now, one problem we do have sometimes is the kids' heads will slam back, and that's why I like to drag that back arm and tell them to really lift that front arm. That helps keep the core engaged. And learning to head first slide is not a bad idea either. If they know how to do it properly and have good body control, it's less likely when they do slide head first that they'll get hurt. Just like before, I always demonstrate the head first slide. It's fun, a little tough on the body, but just teaching the kids to extend their arms, keep their chin up, and you can see the ones that get a lot of speed are really smooth, and they'll sit out here all night and slide, and it's just great practice. The more they do it, the better they get. One last thing you can do is pick off moves and just be the pitcher and have those guys dive back in head first base. Another good activity. Probably the best known slider out there right now in the game is Trey Turner, and it's no surprise that he's one of the fastest players on the base paths, which makes it so much easier to slide. A great thing to do with your players or your own son or daughter is just watch highlights of Trey Turner sliding and show them how that hand's dragging behind, the front one's up, show them the feet, the leg kicked underneath, front toe out, reaching, and hopefully they'll strive to imitate him and keep practicing. And if you set up that slip and slide, you'll have a ton of fun doing it. Do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you down the road.